Good morning, everybody. Today I am doing a demo of transplanting a ponytail palm. Ponytail palms are common houseplants that you can find at many garden centers. The big box stores sometimes have them, but I always encourage shopping from a local garden center and supporting the small businesses. So today I have already taken my ponytail palm out of its container, and I am going to show you what a root-bound ponytail palm looks like. Some of you have seen these. I have two next to each other to keep themselves company, and there is a root-bound plant. It's actually not that bad, but it does need repotted because you can see how large the plant is. And for about 3 years, it has been in a pot this size, which is too small. Now, normally I recommend only going up a half size, 1 inch larger in pot diameter. You do not want to put a small plant, surrounded with 2 to 3 inches on the outside diameter. That plant is going to hold too much moisture. Part of the problem that people struggle with houseplants sometimes because they give them too much love. I'm not saying neglect your plants and let them dry out, but some people care too much, and overwatering is a huge issue, or over pruning, or playing with them too much, giving them too much fertilizer, things like that. So I'm going to show you, I'm leaving these guys planted as companions. This is not necessarily recommended, but this is what my personality likes, so this is what I do. And I'm going to take my pruners here. I recommend investing in a great set of pruners. I invested in these. They were quite costly, but if you take care of good pruners, I have had these for probably, 15 to 18 years. I'm just going to cut at the base some of these roots. Not a lot. You just want to cut through some of the root-bound part a little bit there at the base and turn it around to the other side. And that's probably good enough. I'm going to take my hands and ruffle up that root ball, massaging those roots. Why am I not wearing gloves? Because I like to have direct contact with my plants because it is good for my spirit. Plus, I think the plants benefit from human contact and love as well. So I'm just going to kind of free those roots up a little bit. You can see I have some circling roots that were circling at the base of the plant. I'm going to trim those off. Those are extras. Everywhere I cut, the roots are going to send out branches, and you can see around the sides they were circling as well. So I'm going to cut those off a little bit. I am not taking off all of the roots. There are plenty left on here for them to rejuvenate and send out new roots from here. Now, I am transplanting into a larger container than is recommended. I'm only doing this because I know how to care for plants when they go into a pot that is too large for them. So I've already filled some soil, potting soil. I recommend using sterile potting soil from a bag. I'm not going to go into brands. There's plenty of brands you can pick from. But I do not reuse my soil to transplant my houseplants. You have worry of insect and disease carryover. That's something else to touch on, is I do not put my houseplants outside at all. I keep them inside year-round, and I'm not telling you to do that. I do it for insect and disease prevention. Some of you might know what whitefly or mealybugs are. I don't want those on my houseplants because they are very difficult to get rid of when you bring them indoors. I don't like to use chemicals unless I absolutely have to. I don't want to be spraying pesticides in my home. But I will tell you, it is sometimes very difficult to get rid of things like that, whitefly and mealybugs in the home, especially if you have a lot of plants. So back to the potting. I have filled this up with potting soil, and one thing to do is not bury it too deep. So you can see I am going to pot this at the exact same level that it is now. I'm not putting those bulbs down further, and I'm not raising them up. So make sure all of the foliage is out of the way, and that is, I'll bend it over a little bit, that is about the height I want it. Now I'm not going to fill potting soil up to the brim. Like I said, I am staying at the base of the plant, at the top of the root ball. So now I go in and I fill, I'll back up here so you can see. I am filling in with potting soil around the sides of the plant. I always do this outside because I make a mess, and I would imagine most people make a mess when they are potting their house plants. So just about finished here. Yes, I'm wasting a little bit as it's falling to the ground, but that's okay. I'm not wasting too much. So just about done here, and I will show you from the top what it looks like. Pack it down a little bit, not too tight. When I water this in, there will be air in there, and you want to water it in slowly, and then let the water run through, let it settle, let any bubbles come up to the top of the surface, and water in again. There is what it looks like from the top. I will mess with this a little bit more and get it centered and make sure it's good to go. The last thing I'm going to show you that I like to do is I like to give my plants company. Here I have a piece of fluorite. This is the Illinois state mineral found all throughout Illinois. So I'm going to put this beautiful chunk of fluorite in to keep my plants company there. I've got a little rock that says Dream. Same thing, gonna add it to the soil there. And lastly, a piece of beach glass that I found walking on the Illinois River is gonna go in there as well. There you have it. That's what the base looks like. I will go through here now and take off the dead foliage, water it in, and that's about all I have to do. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at plantpeoplepeoria@gmail.com or get a hold of me on my Facebook page, Plant People Horticultural Creations. Thanks for watching and happy planting.